Hey guys, I am finally doing my American Horror Story Asylum review. Can we just get a little cheers for that? A lot of you wanted me to go back in time and review these seasons, not like I did with the Coven, but as a whole, because I had mentioned before that Asylum had been my favorite, and then you guys wanted to hear reviews on Murder House and Asylum, so that's what we're here to do today, Asylum. And then I will do Murder House as well shortly, probably in a few weeks or so. As I said, Asylum is my favorite American Horror Story ever to be created, and will ever to be created. That didn't make sense. You know what I mean? It's always going to be my favorite because I am biased, and I hear a lot of people say this is their least favorite, and I understand the reasoning. I personally will never be able to say that because I am studying psychology and this takes place in a mental institution, and I used to want to, when I was younger, work in an institution just like this from the 50s or 60s, and I don't know why. They're completely morbid and horrifying and terrible for the patients, but I had this I still do, had this obsession with 1950s or, well, pretty much 40s through now, obsession with mental institutions. So when I saw that this was the theme for this season, I nearly died, and I was just like this the whole time watching. I was so excited. Seriously, every single episode I was like, this can't get any better, can't get any better, and it got better and better, better, better. So of course, like anything, I have my criticisms about this season, but I will get into that after I tell you a little bit about it, in case you haven't seen it, but I think a lot of you are American Horror Story fans, and if you're a true fan, you have seen every episode. Maybe more than once. This is set in a New England mental institution that's ran by the church, I guess you would say. There's nuns and priests and things, and they have all these patients. It's kind of realistic in the sense that this is kind of what they did back in the day when they had insane people or just, you know, homeless kind of people that they just kind of put in these places and to forget about. They never got out, and that was the theme of this whole series of this season. Well, this season was once you get in there, you can't leave. You never leave. It follows tons of characters, and that is my one flaw with it. Although I love Kit Walker and I love Evan Peters, so I mean, he's so good to look at. As much as I love that, I did not like his storyline in this at all, with the aliens, like him being abducted and his wife being abducted. I did not like that at all. I think they could have, it would have been so much stronger without it, and maybe put Evan Peters in a different role. That was my one thing, and I did not like the alien story at all. Normally I'm a fan of like alien things, but it didn't seem like it fit in with all the other themes and storylines within this season, so I think they could have just done without that. So some of the storylines, it follows this journalist who's her name's Lana Winters, and she goes into that place to hear about Bloody Face and also see how they're really treating the patients and how they're storing them, and then shit goes down with her, and her storyline is beautiful. I love the ending and everything, like with her and just everything she goes through. I can't even. But my favorite character of all time in any American Horror Story series is Sister Jude. I don't know what it is. I think Jessica Lange is just such an amazing actress, so she can literally play any single role, but this one has to be my favorite that she's ever played. I think Sister Jude has the most dimension as a character, and she goes through the most in this season, in my opinion, and I just think her, I mean, I cry so much throughout this season with her, and I don't know what, I just feel like a connection with her. I think just Jessica Lange's so good. It's really hard to review this and get into the story and the plot without spoiling everything, so I mean, I guess I'll go into a little bit of spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, I really don't recommend watching further. Just know it is my favorite and you should watch it, and it's so, so good. But I really have to talk about like what happens and things like that, so peace out. So if you have seen it, you know, or if you're here for the spoilers and just don't care, you know that Lana ends up getting trapped in there, and that, I mean, her story, she is gay and she has a girlfriend, and they blackmail her into signing Lana into the institution, and they say that you'll never teach again because no one wants a homosexual to teach their children, and so they make her sign Lana away. She ends up in this institution. She can't leave. She's trying to find an escape, and she works with Kit Walker and Grace and and Chloe Sevigny and to really escape, and she comes across this therapist named Dr. Thredson. His story too is one of my favorites. I mean, it is just, it's insane. Like, this whole season is so intense and magical, and I mean, I've seen this season so many times, but the aversion therapy that he does with her is horrifying. Where they show naked pictures of women and give her like a medicine that makes her throw up, so she starts associating vomiting with naked women to try. I mean, this is a real thing. This is what was actually done back in the day when, people were trying to make people non-homosexual anymore, which is just, it's crazy, but that's what happened. And so I think this season really shed light into some of the realities that mental health has really seen in the day, and I think that's why I'm so drawn to this season. It's just so good, and I mean, it does paint a picture for kind of how it was really like. How accurate it is, I don't really know, because I wasn't alive. Well, yeah, I wasn't alive in the 1950s to really see anything. But from what I've heard, this is pretty close. I mean, I know that these kind of therapies existed, and I know that conditions were really, really horrible for insane people back in the day. So seeing it come to life like that, obviously it's more in a horror context, so they're gonna do more extreme things, but I think it's so like beautiful and horrific, and there's just something about the season that I just love. I know it's an unpopular opinion because most people love Murder House the most, or Coven, but I have to say this is the best season, hands down, and probably ever will be, because I just don't think they could do another season like this. Plus, this one's all about mental health and being in the mental institution, which I'm obsessed with, and I have been my whole life. So let me know what your favorite season was down below, and I will do Murder House as promised, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Have you ever heard of body modification?